What's good, everybody? It is Monday, November 14th, and this is The Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. I am the coach, and we are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. We tell you all the time, we want to include you, but we also have the best cappers in America, and we continue to prove it week after week after week. Another spectacular day and weekend at the brand. In fact, over the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, how about 45, 22, and 1? Just on Sunday, 24 and 12 from the prop shop, from the prop show, from all of our best bets and sides. My guys killed it. My crew killed it. Prop stars, 10 straight profitable weeks in the NFL. He has not lost money even 1 week so far. I have the absolute very best. But guess what we're not going to do? We're not going to look backwards. We're going to look forward. And today, a very busy day at the brand. In fact, if you looked at your sports books today, if you looked at your schedule today, you will notice there are no soccer games. That's because the World Cup break has commenced. So what does that mean? That means I get all of my best buckets, guru. Today at 1 p.m. Eastern time, turn on your notifications. The minute we start, boom, you get notified. Then later tonight, as always, Early Edge Live as we count down Monday Night Football. It's the Eagles, it's the Commanders, and this is why we do the Early Edge. So with all that being said, let's bring in the stars of the show. First and foremost, they didn't cover, Allie, but you got the job done on Saturday. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that's really why I don't bet on Alabama there. And my sister's team won the state volleyball championship for Colorado, so that was exciting this weekend.
What is your sister's name?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. Congratulations, Jocelyn, and the entire team. What high school is it?
Valor Christian.
Valley Christian. Congratulations to the entire volleyball team. There is nothing like winning a state championship. I don't care what the sport is. Congrats. Now next, live from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. He is an absolute savage in several sports for us here at SportsLine. Zach Attack. Zach Simity, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It was a good week. Good start to college basketball. Brandon Staley almost just, I don't even want to comment on what was he doing at the end of that game, but got the Chargers casher, luckily. And you did have a chance to do Hawaii last night for some college basketball. They won by 20 points against Eastern Washington on a 6.5-point spread at 7 o'clock. So good weekend there.
Yeah, yesterday I had Dallas, and I had the Niners last night minus the 7. So that was not fun to watch for me. But we won a lot of other things, so it is what it is. Now,
what's the analytics on going for it on 4th and 3 from your 7 with 3 timeouts instead of doing the punt?
Well, you know how he is. They hadn't stopped in the entire second half. By the way, are you on a delay, Zach, or are you just dramatic effect this morning on your feed? Got a little bit of a delay? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it might be a delay, I guess.
It might be. All right, finally, he is our OG and has been here since day one with myself. He is the maestro, Larry Hartstein. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone, and it's great to see the amazing day the board had despite me going 1-4 on the show. Everybody else picked me up. You know, on the site, I went 5-4, and in all the major contests, I went 3-2, and it feels like I went 1-8 because, you know, having the Bears and the Cowboys for basically perfect 5-0 weeks in every contest, and those two, double-digit fourth quarter leads. That's what the NFL is so amazing at, just the gut punches. But I mean, the Vikings-Bills. When you talk about that ending, there was I don't know if we have a minute. Caesar Sportsbook bosses were alerted, according to my buddy David Purdom at ESPN, that if the game fell 4, 5, or 6 for Buffalo, they had a serious, heavy loss. And so when Josh Allen fumbled, it was 27-23. That was going to, because people had the Bills minus 3.5 and the Vikings plus 8.5. They were going to cash both, a lot of huge bets. So when that ended, Caesars will open today because it ended the right way, for the books. But it could have been a real disaster for those middles.
All right. Well, disaster when I talk about a sports book is very relative. Very, very relative. By the way, if any of you out there watching right now did not see the end of the Vikings-Bills game yesterday, I will put it up there with the craziest finish I've ever seen in my entire life. life. It was that bananas. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. But we got to look forward to today, because here at the Early Edge, here at SportsLine, Monday is the end of our week, and we need to finish strong tonight. And tonight is Monday Night Football, so let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. Let's go right there. Eagles, Commanders. Eagles still have a chance at history, Maestro. They are still undefeated, but we also have to factor in the betting aspect for this show. Floor is yours.
Well, last week, 3 double-digit dogs, all cash, talking about the Jets and the Titans and the Texans. And so a lot of people understandably hesitant to lay a big number with Philadelphia today, but double-digit home favorites, because 2 of those covers were when the favorites were on the road. But now we have a double-digit home favorite. They're actually 29-18-1 against the number since the start of last season. But in the contest, most of the sharp bettors are on the Commanders taking the points. Many more are on the Commanders than on the Eagles. Chase Young will not be back for this game for the Commanders, but their defense has been excellent over the last several weeks. Should be an interesting one tonight.
Yeah, it's in Philadelphia, and currently at SportsLine, the number is 11, and the total is set at 43.5. Quickly, Zach, in the chat, Houston -20 tonight, yes or no?
I'm going to say no, because I haven't assessed that yet.
Okay.
Stay tuned on college basketball.
Okay, very, very good. All right, now, when you talk about college basketball, the beginning of the season, it's all about, the Michigan State Dukes and KUs and all that. But there's also a lot of revenge spots that kind of get lost in the football season. Highlight this for us, Zach, please.
Yeah, I want to make sure people understand how important this is. And I used this storyline last week, and it's continued to happen over the weekend. I touched on how Pepperdine had a revenge spot against Rice in their opening game, and they walloped them. But that was just one game. Over the weekend, it continued to happen. I'm going to just break down. There's 6 games here. I'm going to break it down. All of these covered either as underdogs or as a small favorite. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. But UTEP defeated New Mexico State. -1 was their spread. They lost to them last year by 6 points. Binghamton, this was a site play from me, defeated Marist. They won by 3 points. They were an underdog as well after they lost to them by double digits last season. Utah Tech, who was Dixie State last year, they beat Cal State Northridge. That was a close spread. They were -5.5. They won by 6 points. South Carolina, this was a site play and an early edge and 5 play from me, defeated Clemson after losing to them by 14 last season. A home underdog once again. Hofstra defeated Iona by 5 after losing them by 8 points last year. They were a home underdog +3. And then one more yesterday, Colorado defeated Tennessee. They beat them by double digits, a team that was ranked 11th. That's a really, really big one right there.
All right, a lot of information, educate and entertain. Real quickly in the chat, Matt says, Coach, how about some soccer picks every day? Even if they're friendly, they're always on TV, and it's something to watch. Matt, I'm going to do you a solid. We're going to have daily picks during the World Cup, but even after that, if you are a member, boom, I have the soccer page open right here. We got articles all day long, games every single day from Buckets and Guru. And I'm not trying to recruit you just to get your money. It's $10. I want to recruit you so you can be a part of what we're building. And you get all the soccer you want right here. And we're going to increase the soccer as we move forward. Just like today at 1 p.m. Eastern time, our World Cup preview show. I cannot wait to do that. But, Allie, I need somebody to dig deep into our NHL rule books and sports books and understand there's so many different ways to bet a game, not just the in total, but certainly during the game. What am I talking about?
Yep. So first period overs. I have the 3 best teams. The Canucks, their first period over is 11-1-4. The Ducks, it's 11-4. And then the Flyers, 10-4-1. I know, especially with the Ducks right there, they've been cashing those really early, but mostly because they've been giving up a lot of goals to their opponents. And I think now that after that last game, they've given up at least 3 goals in 14 of the 15 games. And when you have that team total set at like 2.5, 3, it's kind of can't not take it. So definitely pay attention to that.
All right. Pay attention. Grab those papers. Grab those pencils. We always tell you, either for today or in the future, knowledge and sports betting is power. All right. Now, Clyde, you got to listen. I just said the soccer show starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Buckets, Guru, the Speculator. Let's go. Can't make you drink. I can only lead you to the water. All right, let's get into our board for the day. And if you think we're going to just sit on our 45-22-1 record from the weekend, you would be dead wrong. I'm fired up today. So when I look at what I have at my disposal, it's like an embarrassment of riches. So, Allie, if you don't mind, start us off, please.
Yep. So today, let's get right back to the hockey and go with the Islanders on the money line at -120. Just looking at the Sens, they won their last game, but before that, they lost 7 straight, and they've really had trouble giving up goals because they're scoring an average of 3.5 per game, but they're also giving up an average of 3.5 per game. And then on the other hand, you have the Islanders, they're scoring 3.31, but they're only giving up an average of 2.56, and a lot of that's due to Ilya Sorokin, who's 7-4 and has a 2.17 GAA. The Sens look to be starting Cam Talbot, but he's really only made like 3 starts this season. It's 2.35 GA in those, but I don't think that really matters with such a small sample size there. But I just think at -120, definitely the Islanders have the edge. And even on the road, I think that they'll get it done against the Senators today.
You just heard at home about 4 or 5 things that I guarantee you don't want to go and look up. So just use her information and trust that. Trust me on that. All right, so we start with the Islanders on the money line. That is hockey. But we also have NBA tonight. In fact, one play from SportsLine. We're going to go with the clip show. They're going to Houston. The Rockets are not good. So we're going to lay the 5.5. Our Sims have this cashing well over 50% of the time. And don't forget all the NBA games every single night right there at SportsLine. We love the Clippers tonight. -5.5. They're starting to play a little bit better despite the fact that they lost to the Nets the last time out. But the Rockets are putrid. They're just absolutely horrible. All right. Now, let's get laser focused on Monday Night Football. We have a team that is chasing history. Zach Attack, what do you have for us today?
The Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to lay it here. You can get some 10.5s. They're still out there. Try to find that number, 10.5 against the Washington Commanders. And you look at this Eagles team, they are undefeated, but they're kind of leaving the door open if you've been watching them closely over the last month against the Texans. Kind of didn't play too great. Maybe it was that Thursday night aspect. The final score was closer than any or the score wasn't indicative of what the play was on the field in that one. The Dallas Cowboys game had the big lead. They kind of melted that. Dallas missed that field goal. Could have been a cover there for the Cowboys. Jacksonville, they had to come back to win that one. And then, of course, the Arizona game, they had to kick a field goal just to win that one. So undefeated, but aren't playing. They're playing like a team that's leaving the door open. But I think this is a spot. We see this all the time with an undefeated team in the NFL season. They have that one game in the midseason where they just blow out their opponent. I think this is going to be it for the Eagles. This is a Washington Commanders team that doesn't score very many points, and the Eagles defense actually held them to a season low 8 points in their earlier matchup, and they didn't get a touchdown until the last 2 minutes of the game when Carson Wentz threw it to Antonio Gibson. So I like the Eagles here in this spot. I think it's going to be a blowout after all those nail biters ATS yesterday. This is one that's going to be a blowout.
Well, certainly when you put it up on a pedestal that is Monday Night Football, and it's a home game too, and you know the crowd is going to be hyped. I just don't know how Taylor Heineke is going to handle the pressure. But I know one person, Maestro, that will handle the pressure. The one person who's probably should be perhaps the favorite, but little Patrick Mahomes is doing some stuff in Kansas City. But the Eagles have a quarterback that has been on fire. What do you like tonight?
I like Jalen Hurts to keep throwing for touchdowns, over 1.5 touchdowns at BetMGM plus 105. I mean, the last 3 weeks, 2, 4, and 2 passing touchdowns. He had 3 passing touchdowns in the first half against Washington in the first matchup. Now, the Commanders' defense has gotten better since they benched and then traded William Jackson, who was playing terrible in the secondary, but you can't really run too well on them. 4 rushing touchdowns allowed. 16 passing touchdowns allowed. Only 4 teams have allowed more. So I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen through the air. Jalen Hurts has been running less and throwing more. So let's go over 1.5 at plus money. And then on the other side, Antonio Gibson over 23.5 receiving yards, coming back at minus 128 on FanDuel. You're going to see it at 24.5 at other books. I'm fine with that. J.D. McKissick is out for the second straight week. That guy was averaging almost 6 targets out of the backfield. Brian Robinson is not a pass-catching back. And basically, you have the game script of the Eagles hopefully being ahead, and then Taylor Heineke having to get rid of the ball fast because of that great pass rush that Coach just mentioned, over 23.5. The Eagles give up the 6th most receiving yards to running backs. I like Gibson to catch some tonight.
If you want to know how tight props can be, yesterday, Travis Kelce, he went up to 80.5 on 4th down to seal the game. He got a 4-yard catch to get to 81 yards. That's how tight these can be. Incredible, incredible stuff. I love all the picks. I love all the information. I love this day for the brand. So with all that being said, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap courtesy of Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. Maestro, let's start there. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns. This man has complete control of this offense. And if the Commanders are going to try and stop the run, boom, let's throw it in the air. Antonio Gibson, let's go over 23.5 receiving yards. He would play up to 24.5, perhaps 25. Zach Attack, he's laying the 10.5. This might be a good spot to buy the half a point. Might be a little bit juicy, maybe minus 120, minus 130. But I think in this instance, it might be worth it. Alabama, Islanders, money line, minus 120. And then from the site, and I know a couple of you are asking, where are the site plays at? My goodness, is it Education Monday? Just go to the games, hit on NBA. They're all right there. In fact, the Clippers are a graded A play today at SportsLine. All right, good start, but it's all about how we finish. All right, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. Allie, Maestro, Zach Attack, Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. I am the coach. Tell all your friends, turn on your notifications. Come be a part of what we're doing every single day. Multiple shows a day. We grind, and we grind for you right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.